The National Emergency Management Organization NEMO is balancing two crises, the hurricane season and the ongoing pandemic. How will the organization ensure the safety of persons in emergency shelters amid the COVID-19 outbreak? Deputy Director Maria Medard disclosed that mandatory screening will be in effect upon entry.
Look at the wearing of masks, screening, I think on a daily basis. Also, when you come in to register to be at the shelter, you have to undertake a mandatory screening. After that, every day the screening will be done. We also need to look at increasing the number of shelters that we have in areas.
NEMO is also considering limiting the numbers at shelters.
We cannot run shelters like we normally do. So shelters, if there's an impact, a shelter would have probably about maybe 40-50 people. For this hurricane season, if we are impacted, we cannot have so many people at a shelter. So we are looking to see how we can decrease the number of shelteries, to look at the 6 feet social distancing.
The new protocols are with the approval of the Chief Medical Officer.
We had the shelter committee, the National Shelter Committee, where we met and we look at various protocols like the IFRC protocols, the UNHCR protocols, along with those that are being done for the quarantine center here. And we have looked at that and come up with a document that before the end of the week we would be submitting to the CMO for approval, because we know COVID is a health-related disaster.
NEMO continues to encourage St. Lucians to take precautionary measures, including cutting overhanging trees and stocking adequate food supplies in case disaster strikes.
You do your usual preparations, such as clearing your drains, cutting the trees around your yard, and in saying so, also if your trees are affecting your neighbor, try as much as possible to cut those down, because a slight wind can bring those trees down on your neighbor's property, and you don't want that kind of thing to happen in your neighborhood. So we are also asking people to do the usual stock up in terms, and we're not asking you to go and buy out the store, but the usual maybe crackers, your tin stuff and so on, so that should we be impacted, you have some sort of provisions at your home, because the stores and would be closed.
Experts are predicting an above average 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. Therefore, NEMO is bracing for the projected increased intensity of storms given rising ocean temperatures linked to a warming planet caused by climate change. The public is therefore urged to heed warnings to safeguard life and property during a hurricane season in the middle of a global pandemic. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.